So think. The first thing is, how is the bike handling? How is the bike handling? We climb like I climbed into my car, or in the early days of riding bikes, I just climbed on the thing and rode it. I never actually thought about what was going on. So what I want to do, there's an awful lot in what I'm going to say. I'm not going to take long. This is going to take 10-15 minutes. But inside that, if you unpack all of this, there's a huge amount of information and things for you to learn. You cannot learn it today, but you can begin to learn it today. And you'll learn a new thing each time you begin to think. So you've got to think about the handling of the bike. Basically, how is the bike handling and how are we handling the bike? I put this thing together last night and created it last night at 10 o'clock.
That explains it.
It does. How's the bike handling? How's it handling on the straight? What does the bike do in the straight? Does it move around? I've just taken my bike along to Roger because it does this on the straight. You feel it in the bars. Because I've just changed from Dunlops, which I hate and despise. He loves them.
They're great tires.
But really, what do you do? So to Pirellis, they're different tires. My bike handles horribly now. So he's going to sort it out. But I sussed it out going down the pit lane because I was thinking, because I put new tires on, what's going to happen now? What's happening? What happens to the bike? There are different stages that you need to think about in your riding the bike. There's what happens on the straight. Does it go in a straight line? Does the back end pop up? What's happening between the back and the front? Is one fighting the other? You've got to think about these things. Now, when you're experienced, all you do is feel something, but you won't know what it is. You've got to learn to know what it is. What happens, the next thing is what happens as soon as you put the brakes on. What does the bike want to do? Does it want to dive and kick the arse end up, which might mean that the rebound's too fast on the back and the bump's too fast on the front, cause the bike kick up? I don't know, it depends what your bike's doing. But think about it. When I put the brakes on, what happens? And when you come off a straight line and begin to turn the bike, what does it do? Does it want to turn or does it not want to turn? I had a Honda Fireblade and the swine didn't want to turn.
Yeah.
It's an embarrassing thing when you go straight off the track. Took it to Roger. He sorted it out for me. Like I'd walked into a showroom and bought a brand new bike. But it worked out that the thing doesn't want to turn. I learned that from my racing days. What happens when you come off the brakes? Oh, by the way, this is a popular misconception that Pat and I were talking about last time. You hear this popular misconception that you trail brake to the apex. No, you don't trail brake to the apex. You let off and you get on the power before the apex. That way you come out the corner quicker. Okay, that's just an addendum. Now forget it. But what happens when you come off the brakes? Does the bike want to pop up and run wide? Does it want to turn in too fast? When you're round the corner and you're exiting the corner, what does the bike do? Does it want to run wide? Does it not want to finish the corner when you get the power on? Now, I don't know, because I'm never in your bike. I'm talking about mine. But you need to be thinking about this. And if the problem a lot of people do when they come to the track is they try and ride fast. That's what they focus on. I've got to ride fast. I've got to beat that guy in front of me. Because that's Valentino Rossi. And if I pass him, then I'll be a god. That's the mentality people get into. But you need to get your bike into a position and and learn it so that you can ride fast or faster. And this happens slowly. Unless you happen to be Valentino Rossi, who learned that.
You gotta pay your dues.
You got to pay the piper. Unless you're Valentino Rossi and he was still ballistically fast on a bike when he was breastfeeding.